Every day, we consume a huge variety of different foods and drinks. However, for many of us, the majority of our daily fluid intake is of fruit juices, soft drinks, or another fluid that isn't water. The downsides of consuming such types of fluids are that they are rather sugary and mostly have some kind of acidic substance in them. Even meals that we consider as being healthy, such as a simple leafy salad with a vinaigrette, actually isn't too good for our body. This is because the vinegar constituent of the vinaigrette is actually 5% acetic acid, otherwise known as ethanoic acid. Acids, when consumed, corrode the surface of our teeth's enamel, leaving them vulnerable to further internal corrosion, which appears in the form of minute holes. It is these holes that dentists usually fill so that the internal parts of the tooth are protected. In the worst cases, the corrosion of the enamel can lead to the tooth rotting out and falling out, even if they are fully grown adults. In this experiment, we will be comparing the corrosiveness of 3 everyday fluids: Coca-Cola, distilled vinegar, and apple juice. We will leave 3 fairly dirty 1-penny coins completely submerged in each of the 3 fluids for 12 hours. After 12 hours, we will assess how much of the dirt from each coin has been corroded from these coins. This should give us an idea of which of these 3 fluids is the worst for our teeth. In Coca-Cola, we have phosphoric acid. The distilled vinegar is acetic acid. The apple juice contains a mixture of malic and citric acids, which are in fact found naturally in most fruit juices. To compare our result with each other at the end, we need to have control coins. For this, we have 1 dirty and 1 shiny coin. So let's commence the experiment. Here, we have the distilled vinegar, that's the acetic acid. Here, we have the apple juice, which is a combination of malic and citric acid. And here, we have the Coca-Cola. This is full sugar Coca-Cola and has a regular amount of phosphoric acid that you'd find in any bottle of Coca-Cola. So, we'll now put 1 dirty penny in each of the 3 fluids. At the end of the experiment, we will compare how corrosive each of these 3 fluids are by removing the coins from the liquids or fluids, and then we'll compare them to these 2 coins. So, let's wait for 12 hours. Here is an observation. We can see that the Coca-Cola is actually fizzing. This is because the acid in the Coke and the carbonated water that it consists of is actually reacting with the penny. And we can actually see the bubbles coming off the coin. With the apple juice, it's just resting in there. We can see 1 or 2 bubbles, but that was probably caused by when we actually dropped the coin into the apple juice. And the coin in the vinegar is just sitting there. So, it has been 12 hours and each of the 3 coins have been lightly rinsed in cold water and then dried up. So, yeah, we can clearly see that the vinegar has been cleaned the most. Then after that it's the Coca-Cola, and then it's the apple juice. So if you compare the vinegar coin to the shiny control, we can see that they're fairly similar. The only difference is that the vinegar coin has just been through a lot of use, and this is a relatively new coin. Compared to the apple juice, yep, we can clearly see a result. The apple juice wasn't as effective as the vinegar, so it must have been a weaker acid. And the Coca-Cola, even though we did see quite some fizzing, has actually had quite a significant cleanup. However, I wouldn't say that it was as effective as the vinegar. As we can see from this experiment, vinegar is the most corrosive of the 3 substances, and Coca-Cola is the second most corrosive. It closely follows vinegar, still very strong. And apple juice Well, it hasn't had too much of an effect, therefore it's not too acidic. So from this we can conclude that the acetic acid in the vinegar is the worst for our teeth, then the phosphoric acid, then the malic/citric acid. So, from this experiment we could conclude that it would be good to reduce the consumption of Coca-Cola and vinegar, as it could prolong the healthy life of our teeth. As we've seen, they are the most corrosive of these specific three fluids. Therefore, avoiding them will reduce the corrosion of the enamel, which will prolong your teeth's life. Here are a few before and after photos. As we can see, the vinegar has been most effective, followed by the Coca-Cola, and then the apple juice. So thank you for watching this Medicaid UK experiment, and we'll be uploading many more videos in the near future, so please be sure to check them out. So subscribe to us on YouTube and like our page on Facebook.